Good morning, everybody. Give me a moment while I share that we are live. I'll be with you guys in a couple of moments. So stay tuned. Give me a couple moments, guys. Just sharing that we're live. All right, good morning, everybody. So let's take a look at the pre-market, see what's going on, take a look at the watch list, and see what we're going to keep an eye on today. So as you guys can see, price reversing down over here. Buyers came back in, still in the symmetrical triangle, right at angular resistance right now. So the buyers came back in down here. Now it needs to break out of that 2780 and get above that kind of that 2800 area. So we shall see what happens. Again, market is up right now, but it's got to break out of angular resistance for some potential continuation. All right. So let's take a look at what is on our watch list this morning, and we will go from there. See what we're going to keep an eye on. ATOS. So this one right here, we were looking to see if this one will break above that 280s area with resistance at 312. Nothing really much going on the pre-market. So I kind of have two watch lists. Ones that I look at the open, and then ones that I keep off to the side. This would be one that I probably just keep off to the side right now. GOPH. This one is one to see if we can keep, or if it'll go over the 50 SMA over here, continue up, get above the 260s area with resistance at $3. Again, not much going on pre-market, so might keep that one to the side as well. VLRX. This one might keep more of an eye on right here. Obviously has a history of pumping. So this one right here, see if you can get above 180s area, and then ideally get above these wicks around or above 210 area with some resistance around that 250, 265 area. Somewhat of a lower float stock right around the 20 million-ish area. So this might be one that we look at more at the open, VLRX. So it is above that 180-ish marker right down over in here in the pre-market. So might be bull flagging. So that's one we're going to keep an eye on. RRTS. Kind of bull flagging on the daily. See if it can get above the 280s area and then $3. And if it can break above $3, then you're looking at about 350 area. So this one is kind of right at that level Again, not much volume pre-market. That's totally fine. Again, that's where, like, if you guys have been watching just how we've been doing things, we're showing you guys lots of stocks that you're, again, able to scalp 10, 15, 20 cents when everybody is distracted by all the other top ones moving in the pre-market that have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of volume. So these are ones that, again, just because it only has 2,000 in volume, 4,000 in volume, doesn't mean it won't get 200,000 or 300,000 volume, you know, at the open. And that's something you can go in and, you know, buy 1,000 shares, get in, get out, medium float stock, scalp 10, 15, 20 cents while nobody's looking. And then you can go look at trade ideas as well. So again, we do a healthy combination. As I've been saying you guys all along, I'm not a huge fan of the low floaters. It's just not my style. I'm more of a medium and higher float stock. I like to go in, have lower risk, lower reward. I don't mind. I'm fine getting my 10, 15, 20 cents, getting out while the herd is all distracted by, you know, everything that's hitting on the scanners. Dan, he loves trading the low float stocks. That's his style. So, right, so we have a good kind of complement of our trading styles. But you can't, again, we've been saying, you can't trade the low float stocks until you're able to trade the medium and the higher float stocks. Once you know how to trade the medium and higher float stocks, it's the same patterns with those stocks as it would be on low floaters. So, you know, again, just everything moves a lot quicker. Whereas on the medium and the higher float stocks, you have more time to get in and out of a position usually. But again, kind of lower risk, lower reward. So if a stock breaks out, it might not break out 50 cents to $1. It might break out 15 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents. But when it flips and turns around and goes against you and it dumps, you're less likely to get caught in the halts on the way down or stuck or lose 50 cents or $1 or more on the way down. You might only lose 10 cents, right? 15 cents. So again, this is more the style that I like. I like the medium and the, you know, kind of the medium to somewhat higher float. Go in, scalp 10, 15, 20 cents, get out, and then when a trade goes against me, my losses are, you know, usually less than 10 cents, right? So that's why I show you guys these over here, and then on our watch list, we send that out each night. And then we also have morning scanners and trade ideas as well pulled up. So that if something's not going on the watch list or whatever, we go and we take a look at those as well. But if you are really into more of the low float stocks, you know, you can join our trade rooms. Everybody's talking about them all throughout the morning. So if you like to talk about the low floaters, again, come join our trade room. So RRTS, want to see if this one can get above that 275-ish marker right over in here, and then ideally get above $3 for continuation. It's kind of, again, not much going on right now, but it's near that 275 marker. So I'm going to keep an eye on that one more at the open. So far I'm going to probably keep on watch RRTS and VLRX unless one of these other ones pops out at me. This one for DEST, wanted to see if it can get above the 621-ish area for potential continuation. Not looking so hot at the moment, so I'll keep that one off to the side. VLRS. So this is one to see if this can get above that 616 or 616, 619 area for potential continuation upwards. There is a gap above right around that $7 area. Again, kind of trading sideways right now, not showing much pre-market, so we'll keep that one off to the side. DERM. Seeing right here if this is a potential reversal, would get above that 10, what is this, that $10 area, and resistance anywhere from like that 1050-ish to 1090-ish range. Again, not doing much anything right now, so keep that one off to the side. SN. So this might be one we keep an eye on at the open. You can see kind of a bigger cup pattern right here. See if it can get above that 475-ish area. Some resistance around $5. It's hovering right around that 470 at open. So this is one that I might keep an eye peripherally on, right at the open at SN. Let's see, ALDR, kind of a higher price stock. I try to give you guys a healthy mix when looking at these stocks. You can see moving average lines are pinching, kind of crossing. Want to see if this one can get above 18 bucks for some potential movement up to $19 area. Again, it's a little higher price stock, something I normally don't really trade. But for those of you that like higher priced ones, this is one to keep an eye on. Kind of doing a cup pattern, might have some potential continuation upwards. So that's one to definitely watch. I just not looking at that one myself because it's a little higher priced. And let me see here. And let's take a look at GoPro, GPRO. So this is one right here. This is actually one that might be one to keep an eye on, right? So right at $7 right now. There's a gap right between $7.19 up to $7.49. I really like GoPro, I think, right now. So let's see, GPRO. Let's move this one now over, VLRS, and here. So I think what I'm going to do is look at GoPro, and looks like VLRX or SN. So I'm going to keep an eye on both of those right now. So let me split my screen over here. GPRO. So I'm liking this one for potential pop over $7, and you can see that gap between that 717 to 750 area. And VLRX right here, this one for potentially staying above that 7 or that 180-ish area. See if we can get above $2. So I'm going to keep an eye on both GoPro and VLRX right now. And we kind of took a poll, guys. We're kind of still deciding how we're going to move forward with screen share, but it seems like more of you guys like the YouTube, so we might stay with YouTube. We might do private stream. Not sure if we're going to do live or public or private yet, but for right now, we're just going to stay with private, but it seems like you guys like more of the YouTube better. That's why we're doing YouTube here, not trying to confuse you guys. So we're always trying to poll you guys and see what you guys like best. And it seems like you guys tend to like YouTube a little better. So for now, we'll keep things going on YouTube. And that's that. But if you are not a subscriber yet, you could subscribe. Head over to our website, bullishbears.com, or the link is below. You can subscribe right over here. Come join our chat rooms. We're only $10 a month. Very simple. So at this point right now, we're keeping an eye on GoPro and VLRX. See if GoPro will get above $7 and continue up. Obviously, that gap between that 719 and I think that 750-ish area. And VLRX for some continuation. See if it can get above $2 and break above that 210 area. With also, I don't know, SN might be looking pretty decent though. So I'm going to determine what SN, maybe I'll go to that one, GPRO, and then GoPro's dropping a little bit right now. I might like SN better. Let me see. Right at that 470 marker. Let me look at the daily again. And maybe I might like this one a little bit better for SN. I'm torn, so we'll keep an eye at the open, see what happens. But yeah, SN is kind of creeping up over here, so I'm going to look at both SN and GoPro. So SN to see if it can get above that 476-ish area, and GoPro to get above $7. All right. Market is open, so let's see what happens here. So SN is moving up around that 475 marker. See if it's going to continue and move up. So now it's breaking above 476-ish marker. See if it can continue up. Got some resistance around $5. GoPro is dumping. Watch for a potential pullback on SN or see if it's going to continue upwards. Again, be aware SN is a bit overextended. Resistance around $5, support around that 475 area. All right, so still keeping an eye on SN. Again, watch it be potentially bull flag and pull back. Remember, on the 1 minute, it's really overbought. If you look again on the daily, right towards the top of the cup, around $5 will be resistance. So kind of a big cut pattern here. You can see really big flag pull on the 5 minute, and on a 1 minute, watch it. Again, potentially pull back. Kind of got a tweezer top set up here on a 1 minute, so be very careful. I'm probably going to skip GoPro right now. I'm going to go over to see what else is moving right now. Maybe GOPH or DEST. So right here, I want to see if this is going to flag. Again, be aware it's a bit quite a bit overextended, so it might be bull flagging, pulling back for a potential break of 5 or heading towards 5. Just got to keep an eye on this right now. This could easily dump, but watching this bull flag and see if it holds. Atos is breaking up too, so I'm going to look at, again, still keeping an eye on this bull flag for SN, and I might move over, actually I'm going to move SN over here. So it's bull flagging right here, breaking up, moving up. I'm going to move SN over here, keep that one on watch, and see if there's some other ones we're looking at. Again, be aware of $5 resistance. Be aware that it's a bit overextended. Really nice bull flag here. Kind of a flat top area. Again, $5 resistance. A bit away from the 9 EMA. Let's take a look over here. GOPH. This one's kind of moving up as well. You can see $3 is resistance at this point for GOPH. Kind of stair-stepping up a little bit. Had a little bit of a break right over here, but there you go. Now I'm going to watch right over here. $3 resistance on GOPH. Be careful over here with SN. Might be starting to reverse. Got up to 492. Has a doji candle. Might be reversing down. GOPH might be slowly grinding. Do you guys see this, though? Like, this is what I want to show you guys when you're watching here. Actually, I'll wait because I don't want to keep jabbering why. I'll show you guys. You guys see how on Geo or on even on SN, you could have had a nice scalp on SN. Had 200,000 volume. If you were to buy 1,000, 2,000 shares of this, you could get in and out, slow kind of grind up. Even on GOPH, even a break of 272 up here, you could be up 10 cents right now on a slower grind, medium to higher float stock. You can see 85 million, 130 million at 118,000, 246,000. Again, if you're trying to get 10, 20,000 share positions, might be a little bit more difficult. But if you're trying to, buy 1,000, 2,000 shares, again, the majority of people don't have $100,000 accounts. They have 5, 10, maybe $20,000 accounts. So you're going to trade within 1,000 to 5,000 shares. So these are stocks right here. You could get in and out. 100,000, 200,000 volume, medium, float, go in, and here you go. Scalp 272 up to 282, 284. You can make 10 cents. Right up over in here, if you got in, this is pretty nice at the 41 up to 492. That's your 10 cents right here. Down over in here, 470. You could have made 10 to 15 cents on both of these. And nobody's watching them, right? They're all watching what's hitting the scanners in the morning right now. So it's just another way for you guys to go and scalp and not have to be chasing the herd. Just looking at some other patterns, guys. GOPH is kind of slowly grinding up right here. Watch for maybe a pullback here and some potential continuation. And you can see SN might be forming a flat top. Just keep an eye on it. Again, pretty overextended here. And the market is right at angular resistance right now. It's trying to peak a little bit above, so we'll see if it can break out. Keep an eye on that 2,800 area if it can continue up from that 2,778 area. I got a peripheral eye on DEST. No volume right now, but it's creeping up to that 625 area. Might be looking to break out. Right here, might be forming a nice flag on GOPH if it can hold. Kind of bouncing right now. Yeah, careful here. It might be reversing. BG says, 8 minutes in, I'm already up 3,300 on MBVX and staff. Awesome job. Nice job. Yeah, careful with GOPH now. Really dumping. SN is still holding. Let's take a look at a 5-minute. Be very careful. This is where you got to be careful if you're a new trader. These sideways bull flags that go up like this, they could really shake you out a little bit. Again, very overextended. Got to be very careful. Still running, but just be very careful. GOPH, let me see on the 5 minute. Kind of has an evening star reversal pattern. So at this point, I'm going to move on. Keep an eye on this DEST. So DEST doesn't have much volume, but it might be looking to break. You know, if you can get above that 625 area, maybe it'll get some volume kicking in. There you go. It kind of just jumped up a little bit over that 625 area. Got that 650s, right below 650 as resistance. Again, might be forming a reversal. Look over here at SN. Has that gravestone doji on a 1 minute, so you got to be very careful with that one. This one right here has kind of a shooting star-ish. Well, now it's continuing up. Getting a little bit of volume, but needs a lot more to come in. If you guys are watching on YouTube and you're not a member yet, we're only $10 a month, and the link is below. So someone's saying Lucian froze up. What does that mean? You guys can't hear me? Big Bear, can you not hear me, buddy? I just saw your comment. I froze up. Not sure what that means. Still, as you can see, with something like DEST, it is moving up. It's continuing up. But it's not gaining the volume that you want to see, right? You want to see as it breaks up like this, you want to see a lot more volume. It's still stuck at like 340,000. Whereas like SN, right, you're already at about 350,000. Again, not a ton of volume, but remember, like I was saying, guys, if you're trying to, scalp 1,000, get 1,000, 2,000 shares, scalp 10, 15 cents. Look at that. You could just be in and out, and nobody's looking at SN. Again, I'm not saying to trade it now, but if you were getting him back over in here, you can ride that one up, right? Medium float, kind of medium to higher float. So you guys can hear me fine? So Big Bear was just messing with me today. I don't know what he was talking about. So, but the point being is with DEST, when you see it break above like this, right? So you have a nice pattern, kind of breaking kind of a flat top area here. You want to see this thing at that point start to get, over 100,000 shares or so, volume. You want to see it move up. So this is where it starts to be more concerning, where, it's moving up, but it's not getting the volume. SN got to be careful right over here on the 5 minute. Might be doing an evening star pattern right here. Reversal potentially right below $5 marker. So watch for this one to potentially reverse and come back down. And VLRX might be starting to creep up here. So this is one, kind of has this hammer-ish pattern right off previous close. Might be creeping up. See if you can get above pre-market high of that 181 area. Again, not a lot of volume, but over 100,000. That's okay. If this creeps up, can get 150, 200,000 volume or so. This thing might be one for a quick scalp. Oh, no worries, Big Bear. So that's your fault. And again, be careful of SN, not looking so hot right now. Now watch if it pulls back and does somewhat of a bull flag here in the 5 minute, or if it's going to dump. But you got to be careful with this bigger 5 minute candle with the bears coming in here. You got to be careful. It's not looking as hot at the moment. You want some flag candles right here, some smaller ones for another potential play if it's going to continue. VRLRX, keeping an eye on that for a potential break above the 181-ish area. Oop. So with VLRX, if you were to look at a trade like this, you want to see the moving average line start to separate. You can see there is a crossover here. You would like to see price go and break out above the 181 area to continue above. So if it breaks above 181 like it's doing now, you want to see the retest hold. So as you can see, VLRX, you know, about 148,000 here. Again, breaking pre-market highs. Getting a little bit of volume. You can see, you know, $2 to, let's say, 210-ish area is resistance. So you can see real quick jump above, and now it's smacking right back down. Again, kind of a lower float, so you got to be careful. And watching SN over here, kind of bouncing off VWAP, those green dots. See if this is going to continue and go up, maybe form a bull flag, or if it's going to completely dump. Got to watch. This candle right here is a little bit messy here with VLRX. Prices now, again, it broke above pre-market high, and then it smacked right back down. So it's kind of trapped in between this range, between that 179 to 183 marker. Let's look at the 5-minute. Yeah, see, it's popping right back down. So it's not looking so hot at the moment. Oh, did SN just take off? Oh, okay, nope. Sorry, I was distracted by this green candle here. I'm probably going to move VLRX over here and take a look at some other ones at this point, see if anything else is moving. So it's getting this choppiness on this candle up over in here, or this indecision. Right again, as you can see, it broke pre-market high, went up, and smacked back down. So it's in that indecision mode right over in here. Kind of goes up, smack back down. Now you got this hammer. So it's, again, trapped in this range right here. Let me see with DEST. Still not getting much volume. Again, it has kind of like this bull flag. Potentially is kind of pulling back over here. Want to see this thing get some volume, but it's not getting it. So it's still holding the 9 EMA, but needs to get the volume on the breakout. I'm going to take a look at VLRS for a second. Again, another one not getting much volume yet, but it's creeping. So you can see it's creeping towards high a day right here around 606 area. So want to see if it can break above at 606 and then get above 618-ish area for some potential movement up. You can see a gap above around $7. So this one might be creeping. one to keep an eye on. Moving average lines are crossing over on the 1 minute. So see if you can go and get above that 606-ish area. So might be doing kind of a flat top kind of thing right here. Sort of an ascending triangle. You can see the moving average lines are crossing over here, but you want to see them separate and push price up. And with VLRX, still get a bit messy over here. Kind of a cup and handle-ish pattern. So cup, a little bit choppy right over in here. This candle really messes everything up, that one at 183. It's a little bit choppy and getting messy over here. Right, all hovering right around pre-market high. You can see with VLRS, the 1 minute starting to separate a little bit. Again, needs to get above that 606-ish area and get some volume. Very light on the volume, though. Right near, like right here. Look at this. Slowly creep up. VLRS needs some volume. So this is where you got to be careful. If you trade, you know, these ones and you're not getting a couple 100,000 in volume or so, 150, 200,000, that's when you have to be careful. So then when you get in and out of a stock like a DEST and VLRS, it gets a little bit more difficult. Whereas like, you know, DEST or SN earlier when we were looking at in GOPH, they have 300,000-400,000 volume. You can get in and out of 1,000 to 5,000 shares pretty easily. See, look, you can see even VLRS creeping right up, right? It's creeping. It's getting above that 606 area. So now it's starting to get above, but where's the volume? It's not coming in. I'm going to keep an eye on this one for another moment. I'm also still kind of looking at DEST to the side. There's kind of a bull flaggish on a 5 minute forming, but still no volume, as you can see with DEST. So I'm going to move VLRS over to the side over here. That one's starting to move here, but still not a lot of volume. DEST I was looking at on a 5 minute, I was seeing kind of right here, you know, might be setting up maybe a symmetrical or a pennant or a flat top. Got to keep an eye on those two. But you guys see this, how these ones are kind of more on the bullish side of things, but not getting the volume. VLRS still moving up, still only at 59,000 volume. Whereas you can see on SN, 486,000, GOPH 323. So even on this one, you know, well, 606 to 612, big deal. So you have a 6-cent move, but again, needs volume. All right, so what else we got here? Not liking some of the ones. I might switch over to the morning scan in a couple moments and look at some of the ones on trade ideas. Just wanted to let some of these ones play out. So you guys see this? This is what I was mentioning. When it breaks out like this, not much volume, and it just like can easily come right back down here with VLRS. Still at 63,000. You see that? So it's now when somebody sells like that, it just moves the stock a lot more because there's not a lot of volume. Let's take a look at, I'm going to put GOPH off to the side. This one just got a quick pop over here. Pattern's still really messy. So I'm going to let the pattern play out here. I just saw here again the little hammer right down over here. Pushed it right back up, but there's still, the pattern's not so hot. RRTS bear flagging on the 5-minute right over here. Nice bear flag getting near the moving average line. So that's a potential, you know, if it rejects off the moving average line, it's a potential short. Let's look at the daily chart again. Although it's a little bit too near the moving average line, so not looking so hot. Let me look at DEST again. So this one's still kind of creeping and maybe doing, you guys see kind of like a flag pattern right here or a pennant. So I want to see right here if this one's kind of forming and consolidating. Maybe it'll get some volume for a potential break above that 650-ish area. So kind of watching this pattern off to the side over here. I don't like the pattern on GOPH. It is doing a reversal. But now it's got to get above that 284 marker. GoPro did a double top over here. You can see it failed. And now it's heading down right now. Now it's kind of bear flagging right now. So it's another one. Keep an eye on for a potential short on a 5-minute. Not liking much, guys. I'm just looking right now on the watch list, not looking so hot. Let's take a look at some of the ones on the morning scan and see what's happening. MBVX, a little bit choppy right now for a pattern on a 5-minute. Let's take a look at the one. Kind of got a head and shoulders, this head, left shoulder, right shoulder. Might be looking to break down. ISR. Rejected right below $1. Pulling back right now. STAF. Double top, right? Top here, top here. This one's failing. Might be looking to survive. It's just a little bit choppy right now. BNTC. Bearish. NNDM. Garbage looking pattern there. B-Box. Kind of bear flagging. AXON. Bear flagging. And CEI. Kind of an FU pattern right here. So guys, even the ones on my watch list compared to the ones you're looking at, you know, same thing, right? So everybody, if you look at the same stuff on our watch list down here compared to the morning scans, again, they're very similar. All the low floaters and the things that everybody looking at over here, very similar patterns to what's going on our watch list, right? This is just where everybody's staring at in the morning, and this is where people are not, right? So that's where, again, we're trying to teach you guys, just give you guys options, right? You can trade the low floaters or the medium and the high floaters. You can go where the herd is over here and try to scalp your 10 and 15, 20 cents. Or you can go where the herd isn't over here and try to scalp your 10, 15, 20 cents. Whatever you feel more comfortable. Where we've been teaching you guys, again, lower risk, lower reward on our watch list. The morning scans and trade ideas, higher risk, higher reward. Right? Again, I'm a trader. I like lower risk, lower reward. I like to come in here and have lower risk, lower reward. Dan, again, just to give you guys contrasting trading styles, Dan likes the higher risk, higher reward. Right? Doesn't matter. Doesn't mean I'm a better trader than him or he's a better trader than me. Again, as long as you have a trading plan, minimize your risk, and know your entries and exits, know your patterns. It doesn't matter which way you trade. If you want to get your 10 or 15 cents on our watch list, great. If you want to get it really quick on the morning scans or the low floaters, great. It's all a matter of your preference. RRTS might be creeping up. Now you can see RRTS went red to green. Now it's got to get above that. What is that, 275 area? Kind of a cup pattern right here. Needs to get above that 275 marker. I'm going to move this one over to the side. Keep an eye on it. Not liking much of the patterns, guys. Let's see. SSKN is hitting trade ideas, so we'll take a look at that one. Real quick pump up. Dumping right now. Let's go back again to some of these ones from the morning scan. MBVX, again, head, kind of a left shoulder right here. Watch if it'll hold. You can see this kind of that 220 marker. Let me remove some of these drawings here. This 220-ish marker, very important area to hold. 255 high a day. So again, you got a head, possible left shoulder, and at this point needs to get back over that 220-ish area to break the pattern. VLRX now is slowly creeping up, right? So this one may be holding. See if it can get above that 183 marker. This is a 5-minute right here. That 183 is definitely one to keep an eye on. Lower float. Oop, sorry, I had you guys muted. VLRX, seeing if this one can break above 183. It's breaking above 183 now. See if it'll bounce and continue up or if it's going to fail. Again, now it's getting some volume, right? 286, not a ton, but that's okay. Kind of failing a little bit right now over here. See if this is going to dump or if it's going to bounce and continue upwards. Yeah, sorry, Carl. I was muted for a moment. RRTS is not looking so hot at the moment. Actually, yeah, it's still failing right over here. I'm going to move VLRX over to the side. So you can see moving up right over, let me go to a 1 minute, breaking out above the 133, bouncing. Watch if it's going to completely fail or if it's going to go and continue. Right now it's not looking so hot. So VLRX kind of went, it broke out, failed that 183 area, kind of gravestone dojied off of the 182. Now let's see if it can go again. Indecision mode, needs to break above that 184 marker. And there you go. Fake out right here. Scared people. Look here, went out, broke out, came back down, held the 9, and then took off. And there's your volume right here. GOPH. Now you got to be careful though. At that 2 to 206 marker, right in there, be careful of some resistance. And RRTS might be creeping. See this one again. Doing kind of a cup pattern here, right? Needs to get above that 275-ish marker. Let's zoom in here. Maybe doing kind of a cup. You said it's very, you can see it's very kind of choppy in here, not some lack of volume candles. But 131,000 volume. You want to see this thing get some more and break above that 275 if it's going to continue. On VLRX, watch, you can see it broke out, pulling back. Not looking so hot at the moment. Dumping. See that? Big dump. Now it's bouncing, creating a potential high wave candle. You got to be careful on these. Man, not a lot of good stuff to look at here. Let's take a look at VLRS. Might still keep an eye on. I might put VLRS over here. So I don't like the pattern right now that's forming on VLRX. Now you have kind of a long-legged doji slash high wave candle that might be forming here. This is just very indecision right over in here. So I don't like to see that. Let's take a look at, what was I just looking at? Maybe VLRS, but VLRS not getting the volume. I was trying to keep I'm keeping an eye on, you can see it kind of like broke out right above that 606 area. Seeing right here, the retest might be holding. Want to see if it can get some volume and push up. Just not looking so hot. And I don't like these choppy, no volume candles here in RRTS. I like the potential pattern. Might be doing a cup and handle. Got to keep an eye on it though. VLRS needs to get some volume. Guys, I'm going to be back in a couple moments. Give me 5 or 10 minutes. I will be back in a few minutes. All right, I'm back, everybody. So let's take a look at RRTS. Not looking so hot at the moment. Does have kind of a cup and a handle, but it's just, again, not getting the volume, kind of very sporadic. You can see these kind of no volume candles, which make things a little bit messy. Doesn't mean it can't go and break. Again, got this cup and handle, but needs to get above that 275 area and break above. The 5 minute on the VLRS, not looking so hot. Let me take a little quick peripheral look at our watch list before I move on. Maybe ATOS might be one to look at over here. It's broaching VWAP. Down on the day, not looking so hot. Broaching VWAP, might have some room. Again, not so hot. I was looking to see how is broaching VWAP. All right, let's look at some more of the morning gappers again, see what's happening on those. MBVX. Again, remember that we're showing you guys? Look, head, left shoulder, hasn't bounced yet, but you know, that's the makings of a potential head and shoulders. Staff, evening star pattern right here, reversal. This point, watch it right off of this. There's pre-market high right over here. Again, now you have a head, a left shoulder, and if this fails, then it might turn into a head and shoulders pattern. Again, evening star pattern here, potential reversal. BNTC, kind of bear flagging on the 5 minute. Let me just remove these drawings. So bear flagging on a 5, had a quick pop right here, quick pop right over, you know, looked like it was crossing over. Again, it is, you know, it's a very bearish pattern. That's where, again, no matter this is where I'm trying to show you guys. You guys can see I'm showing you guys contrasting, like, styles, right, between the ones that are moving, you know, 100 to 250% on the day to those that are moving 2 to 6%. Again, the patterns are still going to be pretty much the same, you know, a little bit less pumping and dumping. Or again, when you see these ones dump on the watch list, they're smaller falls, right? So lower risk when they fall, lower reward when they pop. On the low floaters, right? Higher risk when they fall, higher reward when they pop. But you'll still see, just because, like, you know, when the ones in our watch list aren't looking so hot, usually the ones on the that are hitting the high a day scanners are not looking so hot as well. So as you can see, MBVX, you still got to find a good 5 minute setup first, and then find your entries on a 1 minute. Don't just trade something just because the 1 minute looks good. Also be aware of the 5. So where you can see right here, MBVX now, price is now moving right up to that 220 area here, right at that right shoulder. If it can get above that 220-ish area and break that left shoulder, it might be one to look at. So now you can see, all right, here's the 5 minute setup on MBVX. Let's take a look at the 1 minute. You can see really quick EMAs are pinching, right? Needs to break above. Now you also got to be aware of the resistance in between on the 1 minutes as well. So if it breaks above 220s and runs, be careful of some resistance right around the 240s as well, right? So that's where, again, gotta see these patterns on all the time frames, right? So ideally, you're looking for a good breakout on a daily, have a good 5 minute setup, then get your entries on a 1 minute, and then determine your exits, whether you're going to exit on a 1 minute or a 5 minute setup. So me personally, I'm always looking. You'll see, like, just to show you guys here, give you an example. I have multiple screens set up like this. So I have, you'll see, right? I have a chart of the futures pretty much up over here, right? And then I kind of put our watch list in over here. And I have a couple screens like this. I have another screen with another one. And I'm just looking at these patterns forming, right? So I just have a 5 minute setup, and I'm like, let me see the pattern. So That's where you'll see me constantly bouncing from one to another, where I have it up set up on a 5-minute. Again, that's my style. I like to find a good 5-minute setup and trade on a 1-minute. Now, there's going to be many a times I'll miss a move by just looking at a 5-minute setup. I might, again, if I'm staring at a 5-minute chart, I might miss a lot of 1-minute moves. So you could be like, well, that's not good. But again, you can say, if you're a quick 1-minute scalper and you don't really care about these patterns, that's fine. That's up to you. Again, that's when you're going to have, if you're that style of a trader, you're going to have a lot more risk than me. You'll definitely have more reward, so you'll have more potential for reward, but also a lot more potential for risk. For me, when I'm looking at these patterns, I'm not trying to, again, that's the other thing. You got to determine what type of trader are you. Are you a scalper, or are you waiting for the best setup? Right? So if you're trying to scalp your 5 or 10 cents or so, you could just take the 1 minutes and kind of go in and out, in and out, in and out. Or you can kind of sit back and wait for the best setup and be like, hey, if the pattern's not there, I'm not going to trade. Right? So that's where, again, there's not really a right or a wrong way. Some people are scalpers. Some people are like again, they might come in and take a trade. Pretend this is a 1-minute chart right here instead of a 5. Some traders might come in and be like, oh, okay, this is far away from the moving average lines. I'll scalp that 5 cents real quick and get out. Or they might see a trade like this, pretend this is a 1 minute, and say, I'll take this 270 up to like 276. I'll take that 5, 6, 7 cents and get out. So if you bought 5,000 shares and you make, 5 cents, that's $250. So again, there's so many different ways to trade. My style is, again, more looking at these 5-minute setups, seeing if something looks good, and then take my trade based upon the 1 minute if the 5-minute setup is good and there's a good daily breakout. As you can see this morning, nothing really going on very much at the moment, but we had one at the opening bell that was pretty decent that we looked at, which was, what was that one? Was that VLRX, or was that, which one was that? Let me see if I could figure that out. Oh, it was SN. That was the one we were looking at the open. So SN at the open, this is the one that was a really nice play, where you'll see it kind of just kind of stair-stepping in here in 476, and it got up to the 490s right here. It gave you a few minutes. So, again, if you got in at the break even of this 1 minute candle here, 477, and you got out somewhere in 490s, it's 10 to 14, 15 cents with time to make a trade. That's a nice trade. I'll take that all day long. Again, a lot of the patterns are a lot of really garbage right now. RRTS might be failing. VWAP right now, potential for a short. If it fails, you can see kind of a cup and handle-ish, but now it's starting to fail. VWAP a little bit. Watch for a potential crossover here for 9 and 20. You can see support right around that 257-ish marker. So it looks like some people are talking about MU right now in the trade room. Let's take a look at that one. Looks like it's failing the 9 EMA right now. Let's look at the 5 minute. It's been bear flagging this morning. Little bit choppy right here, coming off the 20 EMA. I don't know if they're... Are you guys talking about MU short or long? I see. Mav, what are you talking about with MU? Are you looking short or long on this one? I see Dan talking about staff right now. So staff, this one had a breakout right over here about that 212 or 296 area. Real quick right here on that 5 minute. And now it's kind of real choppy in here right now. This is where you got to be super quick with your hotkeys. Let's go to a 1 minute chart on this one. Again, right down in here, you know, quick scalp 322 up here. So this is, again, so this is kind of going back to what I was saying. Squirrel, I'll take a look at ACAD for you in 1 second, bud. Again, another way for you to be able to scalp and, you know, get in and out really quick. If you look at a candle like this kind of pull right backward over here. And if you got in at the break above this green candle right over here. Now, again, look at this right here. 326 down to 301. These are the things, again, we like to talk about, risk reward. Remember, the pattern looks really good, right? So it kind of kind of a handle, broke out, bounced right in there, held. Now you have your green hold right here, right? Now you have the high of day at 338, your entry at 325 potentially. What's your potential reward, right? So just because, hey, Donnie, what's going on? Yeah, give me 1 second, bud. I'll take a look. So remember, this candlestick, $3 to 326. That's a 26-cent candle. So if you're taking this scalp, remember, ideally, you want to have at minimum at least a 2-to-1 profit-loss ratio, right? So, you know, you can see right here, 324, you can know, pretty much guarantee, probably 350s is going to be at least some resistance. So are you willing to risk 26 cents? What is the potential, right? You know you're going to probably hit some resistance around 350. So are you willing to take that 1 minute scalp? You know, that's a 1-to-1 ratio. So these are the things I want to kind of try to teach you guys, right? That just because this looks like a trade, remember, if you're getting in on this, you better bang on that hockey. If this goes and breaks, you got to be super quick and make sure and remember what you're risking here. That's a 25-cent candle really quickly. And you can see 1 minute, 2 minute, and dump. If you don't sell right up in here, you got to be careful. So remember, you can make a lot of money on these 1 minute scalps. But if you get too greedy and you're not quick enough and it goes and reverses against you, I have to be very careful. So let me take a look at ACAD. Donnie was asking about that one. So let me remove my drawings. Not looking so good right now. Ugh. Oh, this is just, it's such a tough, this is like, yeah, a chart like this just gets so choppy, right? I mean, it bouncing right, like the moving average line's trading sideways. Price is right caught between the 50 and the 9 and the 20 right here. So, Donnie, if you want to know what I think about ACAD, I don't. Chart looks horrible. I don't know if you're looking, again, so you could say, well, okay, I'll go bearish on it, but then you also have to be very aware of, like, it's right at support here. So it's, this one's kind of a tough one. It totally just completely tanks. Now, here, if you're looking for intraday, an intraday possible scalp, again, look at all of those wicks right here. It can really trap you. So, again, bear flag. Could this easily reverse? Yes. Could it easily fall? Yes. So, I mean, it's got all this overhead resistance right in here. But if it fails the 9 EMA or VWAP, it's got some room to fall. So, it's just, again, bouncing right. As you can see, it's bouncing right between the moving average lines. And that's where things get really messy. I don't know if that helps you, Donnie. All I know is I look at that chart and it just, I would never even look at that chart, to be honest with you. It's just too much for me. Derm is creeping. So Derm, right over in here, you can see, the heck. So right here, we were looking at Derm to see if we can get above that 1003-ish marker and get the moving average lines to cross. You can see right over in here, kind of doing a cut pattern. Moving average lines are starting to cross. So this is one to maybe watch. Volume slowly creeping. See if it can get above that 1003-ish area and continue. And VLRX, I'm going to put Derm over to the side. And you're welcome, Donnie. Let's take a look at VLRX over here. This one's creeping as well. So now you might have kind of this, might start forming like one of those flat, like a flat top, right? So you guys see right here, kind of can see right here, maybe going to form a flat top, or maybe it forms a double top, right? So now you start looking at this and it kind of becomes in play a little bit where you're like, okay, I'm going to keep an eye on this pattern right here. You don't even really need to have the trend line at this point right now. You can kind of almost use the 9 EMA or pretend the 13's right in between here. And watch this one for, this might be trying to go and have a potential break above the 187 marker. It's one, again, keep an eye on it, right? These are the patterns that we're trying to talk to you about. This same, so now VLRX is more of a lower float stock. This is 24 million shares outstanding, so it's probably right around 20 million or less or so for float. So as you can see, there's a top here, kind of bouncing in here. So, you know, watch if it's going to smack around a little bit. This is where, again, you get in those like ascending triangles and you start to see, okay, let me take a look at this a little bit. Again, this could easily tank, or it could easily break above 187. You just got to see it. If this goes, it needs to break above 187 and then ideally get above $2. Yeah, Golden, let me take a look at BNTC for you guys. So I'm going to put VLRX over to the side. Again, got to be careful. So this is like, what do you do, right? Moving average lines are creeping. It's creeping up to that 187. You know it's got to get above 187 and break and hold. And you know it could also easily reject. So that's when you got to look at these like ascending triangles and say, okay, what would I be willing to risk? What's my reward? Let me put VLRX over to the side. And you can see right over here on the 5-minute, it's still got to contend with that 5-minute high wave candle. So that's where it starts to get a little bit shaky, right? Just know it has to get above that 187 marker. So I'm going to zoom in on a 1 minute over here. Keep an eye on it. Might be bull flagging for a quick pop. Kind of a cup pattern right here. It's creeping. It's really creeping at that 187. There's price right now. Golden, you said BNTC. Let me take a look. 5-minute looks terrible. Kind of a descending triangle right here. Look at this, guys. Now, it gets choppy, right? These descending triangles get a little bit messy, right? If you're kind of looking right over in here. You know, you can kind of those wicks right here. It gets a little bit, it's not perfect, but you can kind of see more of a base right around here. So it's in a descending triangle. The thing you got to be careful with descending triangles is they can easily pop, right? Pop up, come back down. Pop up again, come back down. So it's really, you have a descending triangle. So you can see right here, peak here, coming down here, it's caught right in between here. I mean, again, this is not my style. I don't like trading this. It's just not, I don't like it. But could you make real good money on these? Sure. Like you can go in and see right in here. There was a bull flag right here. Right up, pulls back. One candlestick you had. You had one from 395 to 416. And if you didn't sell at the peak of this, boom, right back down. See, that's me. I just don't like, that's just not my style, you know. Dan, he'd love to trade that. He would see that 1 minute, probably go in there and boom, scalp that really quick. That's the thing, guys. When you're scalping these low floaters, don't think you're going to hold these things for, I mean, you're lucky if you can hold that thing more than a couple minutes, right? But, you know, Remember, the top traders in the world, they're not going in on these scalps and be like, oh, I'm going to get in the break here and just, you know, of this bull flag. I'm just going to sit back and hold that thing for the next 20 minutes or 15 minutes. No. These low floaters, man, they know they're getting in. They're taking their hotkeys. Boom. Bam, bam. They're in and out. You can see. Real quick, bull flag up, right back down. And if you didn't take your profits here and just barely make a little bit of profit on this, then you had one more warning and then you're tanked and you're done. SN now might be making some continuation up here. Let's take a look. So right here, kind of slowly grinding up, right that 494 area, kind of slowly riding that 9 EMA, slowly riding it, right on that 494 resistance. And you can see VLRX right at that 187 area needs to get above and break out. If it doesn't break 187, then you have a double top failure. We're going to keep an eye on this because this one's either going to break out or it's going to dump. Right here, SN, there it goes. It gets above, right? But what's it going to do? Where's the volume? Where's the volume on this candle? Slowly breaking out. Slowly here. See that? That's what I was telling you about. See that, guys? There you go. Look at that. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I'll explain that one in a moment. You guys see that? Quick fake double top. But now the top on this one, a little bit more. Right here. Fake out. Didn't hold. Right smack back down. So when the stock breaks out, it's got to that retest has to hold. And it was looking a little bit fishy on this one because when you saw this 1 minute, it kind of had like it got above right up over here, right above here, and this is like why that's looking fishy, and just boom, smack back down. So this is where you got to look at these double tops, right? You got to be careful right here and into here. You know, if that retest doesn't hold, you got to get out. And this is what happens, again, VLRX. Look, what did I tell you about those low floaters, guys, right? VLRX, 24 million. And so let's go right over to here and see. Let's go to Yahoo Finance. Type in VLRX. Let's take a look at... What the heck? Come on. Float, 18 million. It's a low float stock, under 20 million. So that's the whole point, guys. Again, not saying to not trade these, right? But you have to be very, very quick on your hotkeys. Know your risk, know your reward, and when these pump, they pump quickly. When they dump quickly. Again, with SN, you have to be very careful this pattern, right? Don't, again, so if you're a new trader, right, don't assume, it's very important, like, you can see it's so easy, right? We're all watching the same stock. I mean, all the traders in the world, they're all watching pretty much these stocks right up here. They're watching these eight stocks right here on the day. This is where all the volume, this is where everybody's looking. So when a stock pumps up, let me actually reset my charts right now, make it easier. So now it's about a little bit over an hour into the market, and then I kind of just reset now. I was looking at a couple earlier, you know, I have a split screen. Now I kind of just reset my charts. And then you got to look at, you know, the stocks that are moving on the day, right? Just because like a stock was at 255 high a day, that doesn't mean it's going to go back up there again, right? So if you're a new trader, don't assume that just because it ran earlier that it's going to go back up again. So many times you'll get like faked out right in here. You'll think, oh my God, this thing's going to run again. It's going to go and like I can chase this thing and I can make a ton of money. It's going to break the high a day. And then you'll see again, it pulls back right here, right? You got to find these patterns. And this pattern right over in here, let's kind of teach you guys some patterns for a few moments here. And we'll kind of wrap it up. Where you can see over in the 5 minute, it's not looking like much, right? Again, looked like a potential bull flag. And then it faked you out and it dumped. But if you look over in here, you can see head, left shoulder, right there, right shoulder. So stock went up, made a new high, came back down, went up, comes back down, and now this is where the new traders get trapped. They think, because they're listening to a guru, so let's say now the guru probably got their position right in here, somewhere in here, maybe this candlestick right down here. So they're like, so again, pretend I'm a guru for a moment, right? So Lucian's a guru. And I just said, hey guys, I'm in MBVX, right? So now what happens, right? So now after this is moved, you're like, oh man, Lucian he's a guru. He made money on MBVX earlier. And he just said he got back in, so this thing is going to go back up to the moon again. So I'm in MBVX, which I'm not, by the way. Then you start chasing me, and by the time you get your order entry, you're panicking. Like now you're in that trade, and a couple moments later, so now again it's hitting trade ideas, hitting all the scanners, and then I'm like out MBVX, right? So I'm probably selling right up in here, and meanwhile, you new traders are still trying to catch up in here because you remembered, this thing's going to go to the moon, right? It flew earlier. It was up 282%. So I got to get in now. But the problem is, guys, this is the thing you got to remember. Buy at support, sell at resistance. Buy low, sell high. The new traders are buying at these yellow dots. The professionals are not. The gurus are not buying out here. They're not buying out here. They're not buying out here. They're not buying out here. Look at how far the price is, right, from these moving average lines, right? See how far it is? When price goes away from these moving average lines, it naturally wants to gravitate back. That's on all chart time frames, right? Very important. The farther price gets away, it wants to gravitate back. So if you're a new trader, this is what we want to say. Just because the stock ran on the day, when it starts to look like it might be running again, there's no guarantee that this is going to go and break out above the previous high. And hence, here you go, guys, right? A head, a left shoulder, right shoulder, kind of failing. Now, again, might be making another run again. Right over in here, moving average line starting to separate. But remember, if you're trading these, you have to be super quick. Very quick. And don't assume, like if you're getting near these moving average lines, you have more of a chance, right? If you buy near support levels, you have more of a chance that if this, you have a chance to kind of stay in this trade, right? This could easily, right now, it's a low float stock. This could easily go and completely break out, or it can easily go and dump. It's got to contend with these areas right over in here. But you have to get your entries near these moving average lines, because if not, and you start buying as it gets overextended, if it starts to reverse and fail, then it can easily dump on you. So let's watch SN for a moment, or MBVX, and see what happens. And you can see pre-market high was right over here, 220-ish area. That's where VWAP was. And it's contending right in this 245-ish area. Remember, whole and half dollar amounts, guys, right? Whole and half dollar amounts, resistance areas. It's where it popped up right over here at 255, dumped right back down. Now, if we look at the daily chart, why is that happening? Well, there's resistance all back in here. All back in here. Comes up right over into here. Let's go to the drawing tools. Going right near that 255, very important resistance area. If that breaks, it's got to break and hold. But remember, again, if you're looking at this chart, know the size of these candlesticks, how far you are away from the moving average lines. Look at the pattern and the setup. You know, the pattern is not the greatest on a 5-minute. Might be forming a cup. But remember, with a cup, many times there's a handle. So at this point, needs to get above that 255 area. MBVX halted. So that's the other thing, guys, I want to talk to you guys about. Halts, right? Halts. When a stock pumps up really quickly and down really quickly, you can get caught in halts. There's no guarantee. You know, usually when a halt opens, many a times it goes in the direction that the stock was going. Not always. So if you're caught in it and it's bullish and it halts, you know, that usually could be a good sign that when it opens again, it's going to open bullish and, you know, usually higher than you're in. So that's really good. Me personally, again, but the reverse is true, right? You get stuck on the way down. You're stuck in halts on the way down. You're also stuck in ones where, you know, when you're up against halts a lot of times, many times they're up against SEC. You know, sometimes you'll get caught in ones that are SEC halts. And then you could be stuck completely. It might not open back up that day, right? So again, not trying to scare you guys. I trying to scare you guys in good ways to just really find your niche and how you're going to trade. So again, like I said, Dan and many, obviously right here, the whole herd, all the top traders on the planet, they're all over hanging out over here. They ain't hanging out on my watch list down here, in our watch list. They're not hanging out down here. They're hanging out up here. Look at the volume. 11 million, 8 million, 18 million, 3 million, 2 million. In our watch list, 600,000, 600,000, 900,000, 200,000, 100,000, right? So again, just want to show you guys these things right here. I don't think on my watch list, any of them, I haven't taken a look today, but I don't think any of them were in any halts. So I don't think there was any halts on my watch list. So when you're looking at that, that means, again, lower risk, lower reward. So chances are you're not going to get caught in a halt. So again, lower risk on the way down, but also less reward, right? So you're not going to get caught probably in a halt on the way up and get a huge pump. So that's where you got to, like, again, I'm trying to teach you guys, know what it is that you're trying, always have a plan, right? So whether you love these low float stocks, I'm just going to keep this one. We're going to look at it. I'll kind of start wrapping up in 10 minutes because this thing's either going to pump up or it's going to dump when it reopens. So we'll watch and see. But everything's about having a plan, you know, right? You have to have a trading plan every single day that you trade. And you have to break it down. And I try to say to you guys, again, remember, don't have the same trading goals that a guru has, right? So if a guru's trading goal for the day is $1,000, don't have a same trading goal as a guru if your account's not the same size as theirs, right? So if again, pretend I'm a trading guru for a moment. If I have 100,000 in my account, it's going to be a lot easier for me to make $1,000 a day with a $100,000 account. It's also going to be a lot easier for me to lose $10,000 in a day if a trade goes against me, right? So, you know, again, I could go and buy a 10,000 share position, make 10 cents, and then I made 10 grand on the day, right? But at the same time, if I'm having a bad day and I'm a guru and I bought 10,000 shares and I get caught in a halt on the way down that pumps and then dumps really quickly, and I lose $1 on that, I could very easily lose 10,000. Do you guys see that? It's easy to make $1,000 a day if you're scalping 10 cents with 10,000 shares. I'm not saying it's easy to do, meaning like it's a lot. It's, again, the numbers, right? You can make 10 cents on a trade. But again, if you're chasing and going out really quickly, it's very easy to lose that money as well. So my point being with that, if I have 100,000 in my account, it's much easier for me to make 1,000 a day or lose 10,000 a day. If you only have 5,000 in your account, you're not going to be able to make $1,000 a day as easy as I would be able to, right? You're going to have to make much bigger wins or a lot of scalps to get there. So that's why we say don't follow a guru just because a guru has a goal. Make sure that your goal is realistic, and then you have to break down that goal. So MVX, BVX, it looks like it's reopened. Or did it halt again? Did it halt again? Oh, it just resumed halting, and now it's dumping. So now it's indecision, right? Dropping, what do you do? Cup, handle, is this thing going to dump or is it going to pump? Right? And Dan even just said, whoop, got out there quick, staying away from this one. So this is, again, Dan trades these low floats. He got caught in a halt. Right? Again, higher risk, higher reward. That's his style. Me personally, I hate these. I don't like these. So is Dan a better trader than me? Or am I a better trader than Dan? I don't know. Right? But patterns, guys, right? All about patterns. You can see this low float stock. It is a cup, and it's a possible handle. Now, you can say cup and handles typically break out. Well, yeah, typically. Many times they do. But where's the handle? Where's the handle going to form? Remember, it's got to contend over here. And, you know, that drop from 250 down to 232, that's an 18-cent drop on that 1 minute candle. Be aware of what this risk, what these candles are telling you. So I am discouraging. So if you guys are saying, well, it sounds discouraging. It sounds like you're discouraging me from trading. Like if you're listening to me, it sounds like I'm discouraging you from trading low float stocks. And if you're new, I am discouraging you from trading low float stocks. So if you're a new trader, yeah, I don't want you trading low float stocks because you're going to blow up your account until you know how to trade, right? Once you know support and resistance, how to trade these patterns, and you've made a few hundred practice trades and you have a good 60 to 65% win ratio, then yeah, once you're comfortable, start with smaller positions, scale your way up, then slowly trade those low float stocks. But remember, if you're a new trader, there's absolutely no way you're going to contend with the best traders in the world until you know how to trade first. So that's why, as you can see this morning, I'm kind of going back and forth between our watch list over here and the higher scans on the day. And you're seeing the contrast of both. Again, the higher stocks or the higher movers on the day are doing the same things that the ones that are on our watch list. The patterns aren't still great. So it's not like, hey, Lucian's watch list, it's not looking so hot today. But the morning scans, those are just flying off the charts. No, they pump up and they dump a lot quicker. You know? Higher risk, higher reward, lower risk, lower reward down here. And as you can see, this is just going up and down, forming a cup and a handle. And again, it's the tug of war right in here. What is this going to do? Is this going to hammer or is this going to fail? Moving average line starting to trade sideways on a minute. What is MBVX going to do? Is it going to pump and is it going to break out at 255 or is it going to dump? And Dan says, most of my trades today have been less than 30 seconds, just to give you an idea of probability for typical stocks like these below 10 bucks. It's exactly right. Exactly right. So, again, what I showed you guys with SN earlier, you had, I want to see what MBVX does before I go to SN. Golden says, was Derm a reverse head and shoulders? So an inverse head and shoulders. Let's take a look. Derm, where is Derm? Oh, okay, over in here. Ah, good eye. Good eye. You can say it's kind of an inverse head and shoulders or a cup and handle. So, kinda, right? So you can see a left shoulder, a head, a right shoulder, and it broke out here. Or you can kind of do a bigger picture cup and a handle. You can see a left shoulder, head, kind of a right shoulder breakout. So many times inverse head and shoulders look very similar to cup and handles. So cup and handles and inverse head and shoulders have very similar characteristics. So good eye. And there it goes. Derm was on the watch list. Again, so this is a perfect example one, guys. Look at this, right? So here's one. Let's take a look at the daily. So technically right now on a breakout on a $10 stock, you know, if you got in, you know, right above this gravestone doji or you waited above 10.04, again, you could be up maybe 10 cents right now. You could be like, ah, big deal. It's only 10 cents. But on a stock like this, a medium float stock, you know, you can come in and possibly say, hey, I'll scalp 10 or 15 cents out of this when nobody on the planet's looking at it. 271,000. This is not going to hit trade ideas unless something major happens. Nobody's going to look at Derm at all. But you can easily come in and get 1,000 to 5,000 shares on a stock like this. You bought 5,000 shares of Derm. Now, again, that's $50,000, right? You got to have a pretty big size account. But even if you had, you know, let's say you had a $10,000, $20,000 account. You bought 1,000 shares or 2,000 shares of Derm. It breaks out at $10. Right now, it's doing some indecision, right? It doesn't know what it's going to do. Might be pulling back here. You can see, oh, this, you know, I might take my profits here and make 10 to 15 cents. You bought 1,000 shares, that's $150. 2,000 shares, it's $300. Right? You know, so if you make, guys, if you make $200 a day, that's a $52,000 a year income. Most people that are listening to this right now, including myself, would love to have an extra $52,000 a year, right? We all want $1 million a year. We all want $200,000 or $300,000 a year. Who doesn't? But you'd be very happy with making $52,000 a year. Many of you could quit your jobs making $52,000 a year. If you can make $52,000 a year on the stock market, you can make $100,000. Just double your share position, right? But you have to start somewhere first. And that's why I was trying to tell you guys, don't try to like copy whatever a guru is doing, because the chances are, again, the guru could have $100,000 or more in their account, you know? So let me go back to MBVX and then I'm going to wrap this up. So as you can see, Derm kind of riding, bull flagging, flat top. Again, a bit overextended right now on the 5 minute, so be careful of a pullback. So here's one right here. Even if you waited for the flat top break right over in here and got in at 10.04, if you sold the bid right now at 10.15, you made 11 cents. Guys, you can scalp on our watch list. You can scalp 10 cents at least, minimum, every single day when nobody's looking. Nobody's looking. You can scalp 10 cents easily, and then several times a week, you know, a couple times a week, you might get 20 or 30. A couple times a month, you might catch the 50 cent or $1 move. Again, because nobody's watching these. Nobody's watching. Look, they're all watching up here. That's why if you're new, guys, if you're a new trader, trade our watch list every day. Look at our success ratio on our website. If you go over to our website over here, bullishbears.com, you'll see, link is below. Right over in here, you'll see I post the trade alerts results pretty much each week, and I'll just pick last week's, and you'll see, you know, in here, 14 cents, $2 move, 58 cents, 66 cents, 86 cents. You know, again, a 4 cent, a 1 cent, big deal, 56 cents. You can't, I mean, tell me you can't scalp 10 or 15 cents, right? Nobody's expecting you, right? You're not going to make this on this 60-cent move, 66-cent move. You're not going to make all 66 cents, right? But there's a very good chance you might scalp 10, 15, 20 cents. Coming down here on Wednesday, 32, 17, 35, 46, 56, 67. Again, this is kind of like a medium, kind of a mediocre day. But so what? If you came in and you got 16 or 10 cents, right? Nobody's looking over here. You can go in, scalp 10, 15 cents. This is how you build your account, right? Thursday, this is a crappy, kind of a, I guess it's not too bad. Well, a dollar move, 93 cents, 49, 17, you know. But again, 10 cents, 12 cents, even 7 or 8 cents. So what if it's a day you're like, hey, I want to get 15 cents on each of my trades, but on a day like this, maybe you only can make 7 or 6 cents. Guys, you're not going to make, you know, there's going to be good days and bad days trading. Very important to know. Fridays, again, typically kind of slower, so you can see 17, 16, 12 cents, 18. So that's probably a day that maybe you only squeaked out 5 cents or 6 cents. And you're like, I'm calling it a day. But chances are over here, you're not going to take a 50 cent or a dollar loss. Your losses might be 3, 4 cents, 6 cents. So again, if you're new, that's why we're trying to teach you guys, trade our watch list for a while, get comfortable, and then obviously be in our trade room. And then if you like trading the low float stocks, then you just take these same patterns that you would trade on our watch list and on medium and higher float stocks, and then transition them over to lower float. So on our watch list, chances are you're going to be able to make decisions within a few minutes. A lot of times you have a couple minutes, a few minutes to get in and out of a trade because, again, less likely to dump out on you and less likely to pump on you. On a low floater stock, you know, like an MBVX, going back to that one, you have seconds many of times to take that trade. And look what happened when it reopened. It went from 246 down to 225. That's actually not bad, but you still took a, you know, new traders right here just took a 20-cent bath right here. So this candle is not so bad. Excuse me, for a low float stock, this candle is not too bad. I mean, you're taking maybe a 20-cent loss potentially. Many times it could be a lot worse, right? So again, still a cup and a handle, but you got to be very, so this may go, doesn't mean it won't. This could do a handle, but now handles get choppy. Remember that. They can mess around with you. But this pattern's the same thing that you're going to see on high float stocks, medium floats, low float stocks are all the same. Staff, double top or bust, he said. Carl says. Yeah, so staff again. So that one kind of had, right? So you did many a times double tops. Remember, you'll see a top and then you'll get it really quickly again. And then you'll see sometimes double tops are not perfect, right? You get a top, then it goes and breaks out, and then it smacks right back down. So just because you can see right over here, top goes up, right, quick fake out, dump right back down. But that double top could easily turn into a cup and handle as well. But these, that's why you're seeing something like down in here. If you're trading this thing and you get in above right over in here, you know, or one of these candles, you have 1 or 2 minutes and you're out. Remember, if you're new, this is your trap. If you're a new trader, you're getting stuck up here. You're getting stuck out here. And let's see. Out in here. Out in here. All these areas you're buying at resistance when the price is far away from these moving average lines. Remember, what goes up must come down at some point. So when, you know, the guru is not buying up here if you're a new trader. The guru is not buying up here. They're buying down here near the moving average lines with a good setup, right? Don't just buy at a moving average line if the setup's not good. And then you got to be careful in here, right? In these areas, these spinning top candles. All right, so that's what I got for you guys today. I'm going to pretty much end the stream. We're going to just, again, sorry for any confusion. We like to always listen to you guys, right? We went to more join.me. It seems like you guys tend to like YouTube a little bit better, probably more familiar. So not sure if we'll keep the YouTube stream public or private. But again, very simple. Whatever we do, we're going to post it right over in here. You'll see under our members only video, you'll see we do screen sharing, right? So basically log in each day under the members only section. Right where it says screen sharing, this is where we share our trade ideas live, screen share every day. So again, like a try it before you buy it. You can try out trade ideas. We share our screen share every day here. And then right now, we're going to do YouTube And, you know, if we change, we might let you guys know here. We're not trying to make it difficult for you guys. We're just trying to do what's best for our members. And you guys have spoken, and it seems like you guys prefer YouTube right now. So we'll either do it live publicly, or we'll do it private, or a combination of both. Just log in here each day, and we'll decide. And again, as you can see here, if you click subscribe, we are only $10 per month for, again, our day trade room, swing trade room, futures room, our trade alerts, our watch list. We have thousands of dollars worth of free courses, you know, our screen sharing each day, and also private members only videos. You can subscribe below. We are, again, $10 a month. Awesome to hear, Golden. Like it. So yeah, again, people are very familiar with YouTube. They seem to like it. So that's what I got for you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys all later. Enjoy.